Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nerd Guys podcast.
What up, what up, what up?
So, have you guys been having a good time? I have.
I've been having a good time.
I've been having a good time.
I can't believe we're up to episode 2 already.
That's right.
Like, it's funny, because, like, I feel official at this point.
We have definitely grown into our own here. So, let's start with the introductions as per usual. I'm Jamie Shadow9, YouTuber, a future Twitch sensation, you know.
Future VTuber.
That's right.
As soon as we get the art.
I
Casually
play.
throwing shade.
Oh god, no! I love him.
Nah,
I
it's all
understand what he's going through, so
Nah,
it's fine.
It's not. It's not them. We actually are understanding that there's people who have stuff that go on in their life.
Yeah. I stream thing from Zelda to Mario to Persona with our boy Titan. Definitely
Shout out Titan.
Yeah, definitely go check out Titan.
Oh, he's offline.
Yeah, so he probably finished the stream.
What that means, Titan, where you at? You're supposed to be in the stream right now.
He's probably about to go to bed.
Nah, I feel that.
Yeah, and when I'm not doing those things, I'm having a podcast with my best friend.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm happy to know that I'm your best friend.
Yes, of course. Bros for life.
Bros before, well, you know the saying.
Joe Schmoes.
And yes, it is I, Kitsune, automotive YouTube sensation. I'm sorry, future automotive YouTube sensation.
Cars grow vroom.
Yes, vroom vroom. Cars go quick right now, but one day cars will go fast. I will be standing with the likes of my automotive YouTube sensation heroes, TJ Hunt, Dustin Williams, David from That Dude in Blue.
I can't wait to see you take pictures with them.
Oh my gosh. Well, I already have a picture with Adam LZ.
I know.
That one was great. I was so shocked because I went to Tuner Evo in Philadelphia and I saw that he was there and I was like funny story. I called out his name and he stopped his conversation. I yelled it across the room very awkwardly, but it was because I was so shocked that I was meeting, one of the people that I subscribe to online. He probably was like, oh my god, who's this black guy with cornrows yelling my name across the room? I'm like, oh man, that was awkward. I'm like, I was probably a funny story between him and his friends.
Yeah.
But he's probably used to it at this point. He's like a FD drift champion sensation.
I was gonna say he's probably gotten worse interactions than that.
Yeah,
so.
probably. He seemed very tired when I met him, but it was nice. He took a picture with me.
That's good.
But yeah, when I'm not filming videos for my channel, Underground 335, I'm helping Mr. Jamie here with
recording stuff for Twitch.
Editing stuff for Twitch.
Editing stuff for YouTube.
Editing stuff for YouTube.
Doing stuff for Instagram.
Editing stuff, designs for merch. We're learning together, but I've been teaching myself a little bit of graphic design recently.
And he's been teaching it to me as well.
Yes.
So...
Hooray!
Hooray!
But we're a two-man band, and, stuff's going.
It's going.
So...
Right. So what's our topic for today?
Oh, man.
What are we talking about?
Get ready to hear a lot of Jamie. I know you're ready for this one.
I'm ready for this.
I'm kind of ready because I am a fan of the franchise, but I know you're uber ready.
I'm just gonna prefix this. You're probably going to learn a lot today.
If you thought like today's podcast is going to show why today, like why not today, why we call this podcast Nerd Guys Podcast. Today's episode is going to be about Power Rangers. So, if you don't know what Power Rangers is, it's a franchise that started in the U.S. back in the 80s.
1993.
1993. Like I said.
September, let me see.
Uh-oh, here we
get
go.
A date
Here we go.
when Mighty Morphin Power Rangers first aired? I don't want to get this wrong.
I know the Power Rangers fan base will
crucify me.
Oh, 100%.
There it is.
August
yes.
28, 93. I don't know why I always thought this came out back in the 80s. It's morphin' time.
So, there might... We're going to touch on it later, but there might be something to this, because you're not the first person that said that to me.
Yeah, like, the video looks like it's from the 80s. Like,
you want to know why? I mean, you probably already know. It's its counterpart.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get into that a little later, though.
But that's what I said. I'm going to touch on it, but its counterpart is why most people might say the same thing, like, oh, I feel like I've seen the Power Rangers before.
Yeah.
You have seen the Power Rangers before.
Yeah.
But not on American television until 1983.
3 years before I was born. So, our videos aren't sponsored. I'm going to preface that.
Yeah.
But if you want to check out Power Rangers, you can check out Power Rangers on Netflix because I do think they have all of MMPR on there.
MMPR, they have...
And for those of you who don't know what MMPR is, it's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's the first series.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Samurai, Super Samurai, if I'm remembering correctly, Megaforce, Super Megaforce, Ninja... I don't remember if Ninja's still on there.
I think all the Nickelodeon ones are on there.
Yeah, almost all the Nickelodeon ones. Then, of course, all the Hasbro ones, so Beast Morphers and Dino Fury.
Point blank, Netflix, even because you have all your weird rules now that I may or may not support.
We can't have all the seasons anymore, which sucks, which is why, not most of them, but some of them are now on YouTube now.
You can find...
It's the majority of the seasons.
We'll keep that under wraps because I don't want them just magically disappearing. So anyway, Netflix, be happy that we mentioned you in our podcast for free. Because again, although I may or may not agree with your new rules, we're giving you press.
Yeah.
So yes, if you're not familiar with Power Rangers or you want to see your Power Rangers series, most of them that you saw before, find them online, or like I said, you can watch them on Netflix.
I know we have a topic, but I actually wanted to talk about another topic. Ranger series for first time, like recommendations for Ranger series for first time viewers. For me, I say, like most people will say, oh, watch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. No, don't do that.
Yeah, you probably won't be super interested because it's like really old. Like, it looks old.
One, it's old. But two, there are 163 episodes between all three seasons.
Yeah, I tried.
You're gonna be there for a while.
I try rewatching it, and I'm like, bro, this is so boring. But I love it, but it's boring.
I would recommend seasons like In Space, Lost Galaxy. I would definitely highly recommend Lost Galaxy because, like, the way Power Rangers works is that there are certain storylines, and we go from Mighty Morphin to In Space, which is what people like to call the Zordon era.
I thought we went from Mighty Morphin to brain. My brain's saying Zeo. There you go. Is Mighty Morphin to In Space and then In Space to Zeo?
No, it's Mighty Morphin, Zeo, Turbo, and then In Space.
Okay. Yeah, no, you confused me for a second when you said we go from Mighty Morphin to In Space.
But that's the timeline. It's like Mighty Morphin through In Space is the Zordon era.
Yes.
where we get our lovable, guardian of the earth, Zordon, who we spend a lot of time with getting to know, and he's recruited. He's recruited all of these teams of Rangers, but
Rangers.
If you know, so this is something that's interesting. Is
I wonder if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it. I wonder if I do it, will we get like flagged?
What are you trying to do? Well, whatever he's trying to do, I'm going to continue what I was saying. So Mighty Morphin, that might be fine. I don't know.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Because I did it.
So Mighty Morphin's Power Rangers started with the 5 original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So Jason, Zach, Kimberly, Trini, and Billy. And then you get Tommy as the Green Ranger.
/ White Ranger.
/ White Ranger.
/ Red Ranger, unofficially.
But then, like, season 2, we move on to Zach. Zach's out.
Adam.
Trini's out. And Jason's out. And we switch them in for Adam, Aisha, and Rocky. Some people will tell you that that's the goated team, is Rocky, Adam, Aisha, Tommy, Billy. Some people really like that team of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But then we move on to Kimberly moving to France and getting that French D. Sorry, gotta mention the French D. And moving into having Kat, who is evil, becoming the Nick Ranger. So that's basically kind of our core cast for Mighty Morphin Season 2 and 3, and then also ZL.
I'd say if I had to give a pick, because like my top picks for seasons to watch, I would say start with the Disney era.
Yeah.
So Wild Force, Ninja Storm, and Mystic Force.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, for me, it's either I love In Space, but the one I always go to first when it comes to Saban era is Lost Galaxy, and the reason why is because it's kind of it's the first time in Power Rangers history where an entire cast was changed, because if you watch, like I said, Mighty Morphin through In Space, there was always a slight change to the cast. Either one person joined, or we got a couple of people.
Right.
But most of the characters that you already knew. Plus, Power Rangers did this clever thing where they would introduce you to the characters who are being subbed in.
Yeah.
So, like, when...
like, what was the kid's name from Turbo?
Oh, freaking Justin.
Yes, the orphan who was at a charity event.
Was he an orphan? I thought he...
well, he wasn't really an orphan, but, like, in the Turbo movie...
They kind of, like, framed it that way.
Yeah.
You're right about that. Yeah, because, like, I think he has, like, a single parent, and he's, like, it's his dad.
Just his dad.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, like, they do a very clever thing where they introduce the character that's going to be in the show. But for the first time, Lost Galaxy was like, here's this new cast. And, like, yes, Bulk and Skull were in it, but Bulk and Skull kind of, like, Skull wasn't even really in Lost Galaxy.
They're side characters. But they're important to the plot, or not important to the plot. They're important to the franchise, right, because I loves me some Bulk and Skull.
Yeah.
Especially when they become cops. But they could be there. It's okay that they're there.
Right, but all the other familiar faces that you were used to seeing were gone.
Yeah.
And we got new people. So we got Leo and Kendricks and Damon and Kai and Maya.
Shout out Damon.
Oh man, especially because the only black man on a ship in space.
Fun fact. If I remember correctly, that's the character that I was telling you about that was in This Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I looked at him like, bro, I know this person. Well, you know what? Before we go any further, Gotta address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
A. Rest in peace, Jason David Frank.
Yes.
Great person. So sad I never got to meet him because I know he popped up at every Comic-Con and I wanted to meet him so bad. And I'm upset that I never made it out to a con to meet him because he seemed like a really genuine dude.
Also, rest in peace to all of our fallen Rangers and
Yes.
allies.
Yes. I don't remember what her name is, but I'm going to look it up right now for you all.
Treat, True Twang, yeah.
Yes.
She, that, it makes me, it pains my heart because, like, you know, that was definitely a gone too soon thing. Because she had a lot to offer us. And I don't know the specifics of, like, the situation because we're pulling back a little bit, but some of the reason why, you know, we got cast changes in Mighty Morphin were due to pay disputes and someone talking to a union rep or something like that. Basically all these, like, weird little, like, small things that weren't really, you know, how do I put it, not that important on the, you know, big frame, you know, nothing that would really affect anything. What was I saying? And it's great that, like, in the most recent special, the Once and Always, that we did get a very lovely tribute to both Trang and Jason David Frank.
Yes. So, in all the talk of Rangers, I feel like I know your answer, but who's your favorite Ranger?
Now, you probably would expect it to be Tommy, but it's not.
That's who I expected your favorite Ranger was going to be.
So, here's the thing, right? I love Tommy. I do. But he's not my favorite Power Ranger. My favorite Power Ranger, I always go back and forth. But I think it's kind of more of a more recent thing now. My favorite Power Ranger is Ravi from Beast Morphers. He's the blue Beast Morphers Ranger.
Wow, the Blue Ranger's your favorite Ranger.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Okay, let me put this on here. Red is my favorite color. Is one of my it's red, black, gold, and now purple. Purple is like my new favorite color. I love red, and usually a lot of Red Rangers, not all of them, I get picky, but a lot of Red Rangers I have as favorites. You know, I have, you know, Leo, bruh, this is my dude.
Wesley.
Oh God, Cole from Wild Force. Now I know what people are gonna say. I'm talking about Cole the character and not Cole the person, because, you know,
I know nothing of this, and you're about to ruin them for me, but okay. Before you say anything, let me tell you who my favorite Ranger is.
Go for it.
Cole.
Yeah.
So now, let Jamie ruin this for me, so go ahead and tell me what you're about to tell me. I feel like it's a Flash situation all over again.
Here's the thing about Rick Medina, right? If you didn't know, I'll tell you, Rick Medina actually played Cole the Red Wild Force Ranger and Decker and in Power Ranger Samurai. I got there. The whole thing with Rick Medina is that he was charged for, I think, manslaughter or involuntary manslaughter. I don't know specifically. But the point is, it was an altercation with, I think, his roommate. He used a sword to defend himself, and I think he either he killed him or something like
can't
that.
say that.
Or sorry, he unalived him.
Something not so happy went down.
Now, here's the thing, right? The main reason why I'm so fuzzy on this is because, like, I read the story and everything, but I wasn't really, like, following it as it happened, if that makes sense. Because it's a crazy story, but two, it's not something that I really like following in a sense, you know what I mean? Like, these things happen, it's unavoidable, but it's not really the best situation. But Cole the Ranger, the person that you watched, like, Rick Medina when he was Cole, he's an amazing Red Ranger. I really liked him because of his never give up, never die attitude. The fact that, like, he came from the jungle and he was so very simple. He was, Power Rangers is Tarzan. So, yeah.
Wow, I never knew that this happened to this character or this actor. It sucks because, like, growing up, this guy was my hero.
Look at him. He's handsome as hell. Like, he's just so good looking. But he was a non-white Red Ranger because he's, I think he's Hispanic, I believe.
You know what? I never knew that.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I didn't know he was Puerto Rican. I always thought he was white.
Nope.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
And that's something that I learned about him when I was younger. So he has there's so much cool stuff that you learn about him, and, like, before, of course, this whole incident happened.
It's crazy because, like, in his picture where he's in court, he legit looks like a villain.
I mean, it's fitting because he played Decker before this whole thing happened, which was one of the main villains in Samurai.
Well, off the depressing topic.
Yeah, sorry guys.
What was your favorite season?
Oh, now this one gets a little more particular for me because I don't know. It's, how do I put it, right?
That's so weird. I never knew that he played. Yo,
yeah, it's the same person. You learn more every day.
Wow.
That's the same person.
He was low-key one of the best villains in this season.
Yeah, without a shred of a doubt. He played this role really well. The only problem is...
Well, you took the sword thing a little too serious.
Oh, God. Lord Jesus. I'll get to it later when we talk about stuff like that. But my favorite season... So, when I was younger, it was Mystic Force. 100% it was Mystic Force. I, love magic. And the fact that there was a season that had, magic and mystical shit, I was like, hell yes.
Shout out to the Mystic Force Megazord.
Bro! Yo, I'm sorry.
2 modes.
The Mystic Force Megazord is probably one of my favorites because he has the most swag. First of all, he comes out. First, they have a dragon mode, but that's not really
No. Back up even further.
What?
They're all individual robots that are actual, like, humanoid robots that can fight.
And it's them.
And that's already
freaking fantastic. But like the 4 Rangers combined into a dragon, and then the Red Ranger rides on the dragon.
Yes.
And then they get to combine together to become the Mystic Force Megazord. But this Zord, first of all, has this like dope ass wizard's hat with the fucking brim and shit.
And we're not even going to talk about the fact that a centaur is the main body. Not only that, the Red Ranger can combine with the evil villain's Zord.
Yeah, his horse. The Centaur, not Centaurus, Catastros.
Yes.
Got it. Oh, so good. So good.
This is a series that I would definitely go back and rewatch because I really loved it. And the Solaris Knight was
That's Daggeron. That's
yes.
Nick's actual dad. Sorry.
He was one of my favorite characters.
If you know, you know.
I hated what they did to his Megazord. Like, it was cool that it was a train. In train form, it's cool, but in, Megazord form,
it's very blocky.
It's very blocky.
It's very blocky. I can admit, I love Daggeron Zord, but even I'm sitting here like, listen, fam. I mean,
it was very blocky.
It's very blocky. But
it looked like if you tapped it, it would fall over.
I can't say it's Mystic Force anymore. And
what is it then? I feel like you're about to say Beast Morphers.
I would like to, but I don't think it's Beast Morphers. Even though that season is really good. Dino Thunder. It's the I have to say it. It's the most consistent season.
Yes. It's not Operation Overdrive. You don't want to go on a treasure hunt? For those of you who don't know, that could be an episode in and of itself. Reasons why Jamie doesn't care for Operation Overdrive.
Oh my god.
We're not going to get into it right now.
No, I'm. You guys have to understand. There's certain things that I got myself back on, and talking about Operation Overdrive is one of those things. We will be here for an entire episode, like he said, because I don't hate Operation Overdrive. I want to prefix that. I don't hate Operation Overdrive. But Operation Overdrive is ass.
Alright, to stop you.
Yeah, I'm not going to say
my favorite season... as much as I would love to say it's Wild Force... I was literally about to say Avatar Sentai Don Brothers.
Oh my god.
But technically, that's not Power Rangers. My favorite season of Power Rangers? Ninja Storm.
That's fair.
It's either Ninja Storm or SPD. Those are two of my favorite seasons that I can sit down and just rewatch.
Yeah.
Because
again, Disney era, early Disney era, well, just the entire Disney era was really good, but especially early Disney era is where they had a lot of stuff like...
Actually, I'll double down. Ninja Storm, 100%,
yeah.
all the way. Because, like, to me, it had the best story. It wasn't super bubbly, and it was pretty dark, and, like, the Rangers got their like, butts kicked heavy and didn't just come out on top. And it's not like, oh, we got beat and we learned a lesson and that helped us win through the power of friendship. No, it was like we got beat and then wound up winning because the evil Rangers flipped and turned on their master to join us.
Well, it's funny because like that could be said about a lot of seasons of Power Rangers, but the one season of Power Rangers that can't be said about is Megaforce. I'm not gonna say any more than that, but
I don't remember because I stopped watching Megaforce about halfway through because
I should elaborate a little bit.
You know how you feel about Operation Overdrive?
That's how you feel about it.
That's how I feel about Megaforce and Super Megaforce.
I will elaborate just a bit. I'm not gonna go on a tangent, but You know how you just said that, like, the Rangers would get their butts kicked and then they would actually, have to figure out a way to beat the villain or whatever?
Yep.
In Megaforce, you want to know how they get their new powers each time? They have a character episode. And in each character episode, they don't really, like, for example, Noah in his episode, the Blue Ranger. Jake wants his axe reconfigured so he can impress Gia because he has a crush on Gia. Blah blah blah.
Jake was the Black Ranger, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that arc.
And Gia is the Yellow Ranger.
Yeah.
So Noah's trying to figure out how he's gonna do it, and he can't lift Jake's axe. Why can't he lift Jake's axe? We don't know. We haven't been told.
It was such bad writing.
We haven't been told why he hasn't been able to do that, but
writing.
he just can't do it.
I'm gonna hold myself back.
But he gets self-doubt, about his ability to be able to reforge this weapon. And then, well, while he's, thinking that push-ups will solve the problem, Jake comes in and, gives him a pep talk. But ultimately, the way that they defeat the monster is Noah believes in himself, is able to swings this axe to get a critical hit on the monster, and then he grows.
Through the power of family.
Through the power of believing in yourself.
No, it was definitely the power of family. Vin Diesel came driving down out the sky and put a hole through the monster's heart while it was giant.
He used the Fast and the Furious Megazord.
He used the Fast and Furious Megazord Dodge Charger.
Oh my god, yo. Oh man, what was it? The way that they get the upper hand in the Megazord battle because they're losing is Noah just believes in himself again, and that's how they get the Shark Brothers, the new the Sea Brothers card. That's it. Or how about another example?
Through the power of song.
No
more examples. No more examples. Because if you give more examples, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be just like you are with Operation Overdrive.
I want you to be like that, though, because here's the thing. Megaforce and Super Megaforce, I'm sorry for all the fans out there of those series, but they deserve all the scorn.
Yep. The last good season, in my opinion, was Samurai.
Oh, honey. We gotta watch Beast Morphers.
I did start watching Beast Morphers. I will say, I really did enjoy the part, like, I started watching Beast Morph back when it first aired. I was on the hype train. I did like it. I do want to finish it.
You gotta finish it. It's so fucking good.
I think I got up to episode 8.
You got it.
But I'll say, like, out of the mainline stories, to me, the last really great era, and at risk of sounding old, was the Samurai Saga. To me, okay. Because I didn't enjoy anything that came after that until Beast Morphers.
That's fair. And here's the thing, right? So, Samurai is also not really that good of a season, but not to its own fault. And I'm gonna tell you, well, we're gonna get into that a little later, but the reason why Samurai is not that good in a lot of people's eyes is because a lot of it is just kind of copy and paste, but that's actually, there's a reason for that. Saban bought back Power Rangers from Disney while RPM was airing.
Yeah.
So RPM
great season
got canceled. Well, it finished the season, but it was canceled.
It didn't really do everything that it was supposed to.
Yeah. And in the interim, if you ever wondered why we got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2010,
Ugh.
that's why.
Talking about Nicktoons Network. Ah.
So if you remember, for those of you who aren't aware of what I'm talking about, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2010 was basically Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but
A
with,
condensed version.
Yeah,
It was like Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Yeah, but with like slightly better updates, like smoother on the visuals and everything.
They updated the visuals. They went back and updated the footage. They re-edited it to make it look a little bit better than what it had.
But they also then added special effects and bios. And I hated it because some of the bios were really, really, really stupid. They had bios for each ranger, like their weapons, but they say their weapons in every episode. Why do you need a bio for a weapon that we see?
Power X.
They literally say it every single time they summon it. But
Saber-tooth daggers.
It's like, oh man, what weapon does the Yellow Ranger have? Oh man, what sword does she
Pterodactyl
use?
bow.
It was just so annoying. And not only that, but like when we met Tommy for the first time and he came into frame and they were like, they put a heart like frame around him. I'm like, really?
You're trying.
Really?
Alright.
Alright, but that's Mighty Morphin 2010. And between then and when Samurai came out, it was only a year, which means that there was no time to actually craft an adapted story from Samurai Sentai Shinkenger, the Sentai version of
Sentai counterpart.
Yeah. And then they didn't really have time to have the actors, rehearse and go over a lot of, the regular stuff that they would have to for the season. So if you wondered why there were awkward moments or very stiff performances, especially if you pay attention to that stuff.
Yes, I definitely noticed.
Then that's why.
Yeah.
Because they only had a year to get used to all of their roles. And if you notice, only two of the Samurai Rangers actually had last names. And it was Jaden and Mia.
I never noticed that. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it now because I've never noticed that.
They don't ever say Mia's last name well, there might be an episode, but I don't. It's probably one episode, but yeah. Essentially, she has a last name, but none of the other ones except for Jaden and Antonio. When we get introduced to Antonio.
So, all this nostalgia is like making me think of like the video games. And I remember I had the Dino Thunder video game, and I had the Ninja Storm video game, and I had the SPD video game. I really used to enjoy those games. Admittedly enough, I didn't beat the Dino Thunder video game until I was older because I couldn't figure out how to get through Mesogog's
base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a really good game and they should have made more games like that. And it just makes you wonder, where are the games? Because the last one that came out was what? The mobile game turned console game?
Yeah, Battle for the Grid.
Yeah.
And some Ranger fans swear by that game, but I'm sorry, I don't really like that game.
Neither do I, because it's like, if it's cool that you're fighting with Power Rangers, but I'm telling you right now, I'm pretty sure a company like Insomniac, I'm picking on them because they make really good games. Insomniac, Rocksteady, I'm pretty sure that companies like that, Square Enix,
yeah,
they could make a game that was Power Rangers based or Sentai based and rock. the world with it, like, and make Power Rangers super popular again.
I think the biggest drawback is, since Power Rangers is, not formulaic, but, it's kind of put, pen to paper type stuff. There's a beginning and an end. Without really putting the main story of Power Rangers in a game, what are you gonna do? And that's like how I know, like, there's creativity that could come from that, but how I would put it is, it's kind of depends on the type of Ranger series. Like, if Mystic Force had a game, I'd make it an RPG because it's magic, it's fantasy.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It would be awesome to go on a quest outside of the real world in the magical realm to save the real world, or vice versa, be able to travel between two worlds.
And then for like a game like Jungle Fury, where it's, they're the Pai Schwa, they're kind of very combat based, that would be a fighting game for Power Rangers. And like, it doesn't have to be as linear as, the Power Ranger, you're about to fight, enemy number one, so it's round one and you fight that enemy. Like, you can have a little hub world where you walk around, kind of like how Street Fighter is now.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, how Street Fighter 6 is.
So, to me, I feel like you could have based genres around the different teams of Power Rangers. But I'm guessing the reason why they never really did that is because Power Rangers has always had Power Rangers has had different, people over it. So you had Saban originally, and then Disney, then Saban again, and now we have Hasbro.
Hasbro, I'm gonna put you on game. If you want to make a Power Rangers game, A, get a great company to develop the game.
Yes.
B, you could literally make it where you play from beginning to end. AKA
tell the entire story. It could be a brand new cast, like, not necessarily a previous season. Character, Lone Ranger. What happened to the other Rangers? Nobody knows. They could have, been unalive. They could have kidnapped. Something. Yeah.
And this one Lone Ranger has to, find power-ups, find allies that, might become the new Rangers. Instant goldmine franchise right there. Give it a decent soundtrack, and, a couple Megazord fights. Make it where you can actually use your Zords. Make it open world. Open world franchise. Open world games are, like, all the rage right now. Make it open world. And I know it would be expensive, but I'm telling you right now, the return to the fan base for Power Rangers will put it back on top. Like, toy sales, I guarantee toy sales would spike. Because, like, these days, kids watch... Well, you see what we're doing. We're streaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
People watch video games all day on Twitch. So, like, what's to stop kids from watching stuff, like, watching the gameplay on Twitch and YouTube and then saying, Mom, I want this toy?
And I was gonna say, like, I would stream a Power Rangers game on Twitch. Hell yeah.
Bruh, I still buy Megazords. I have my MMPR
Same.
Megazord up on my shelf behind me along with my Morphers. Not Morphers.
And I have my Ranger collection, and also my Sentai collection, and also my Kamen Rider collection.
Oh man, like, for real.
They're all growing still, by the way.
Always. Shout out Gamers Heaven.
Oh,
shout out Gamers
goodness.
Heaven for being the plug.
Bro, I can't wait
So,
to go back.
side
there.
note, when I go to Florida,
Mm-hmm.
there's this store down there that's like Gamers Heaven, and I'm going to be visiting it.
Ooh.
And I'm going to see if there's some Sentai Kamen Rider stuff in there.
I hope you bring me back some good stuff.
I hope it's as good as what I think it is.
This makes me so excited.
But, like, Hasbro, where are the PR games at? I want another Power Rangers game. Like, Battle for the Grid is cool, but if I wanted to play Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
I would buy Tekken.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not a shot at Mortal Kombat. I like Mortal Kombat, I like Tekken, and now I like Street Fighter. But if I wanted to play that type of game, I'd play that type of game.
Yeah. So I know we have another topic, but I actually you made me think about something, and it was Power Rangers themes, the music in Power Rangers. What's your favorite Power Rangers theme? Okay, that's not Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because I think that's everyone's.
Well, I'm sorry, most of them sound like that. I'm joking.
I was gonna say
most of the recent ones reuse that as the base. But
God. Mega Force all together.
Hey, we do. Let's not get a strike right now. But SPD.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Jungle Fury.
Yeah.
Dino Thunder.
Oh yeah, definitely that one. I'm gonna tell you mine. Lost Galaxy.
Yes.
God, this song slaps. Also, Wild Forces is very good.
Yes.
I like Time Force, but not as much as some of the other ones. But Mystic Force, bro.
I don't remember Mystic Forces.
You gotta listen to it, bro. It's
You all can't hear it, but I'm listening to it.
It's so freaking good. Because, like, it's not something that you would expect from Power Rangers.
Right.
And the what's even more funny is that Ron Wasserman, who's one of the composers for the original, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme song, wrote a lot of the different theme songs for Power Rangers, and he wrote one for Mystic Force, and it sounds good.
Yes, I do remember this now. Yes, it was good.
This song is so good. And
Ninja Storm has a goated intro as well.
It's very like, it's of its era. It's very Surfer 2000s.
Yeah, very California.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because wasn't a lot of the Disney series filmed in New Zealand?
Yes.
Yeah, like when I found that out, I was like, huh? I always thought it was filmed in California.
It's freaking Far Cry, man. But that's why we started getting more New Zealand actors, is because when we went from Wild Force, which was still being, I think it was, some of it was filmed, either some of it or all of it was filmed in New Zealand. And then Ninja Storm was all filmed. Ninja Storm through now, Dino Fury is being filmed in New Zealand. So we had a lot of New Zealand actors.
See, the thing that really ruined Power Rangers for me, and I guess this is an appropriate time to talk about it because, the next topic was who do you think was done dirty? I think the franchise was done dirty because, to me, I loved the cohesiveness of the franchise in the beginning, which, ironically enough, is why I'm a super big Marvel nerd, Marvel fan for the MCU. Every story connected and led into the next season.
Yeah.
But now it's here's a story over here, there's a story over there, here's a story over here, and hey, guess what? The writers of the comic believe in the franchise so much that they're like, okay, we're gonna take all of these and then we're gonna mesh them up here. But you have to read the comic to understand why, and not everybody. I don't read the comic yet, but it was simple back then, which leads to the next season, and it builds this overarching universe.
So,
which I'm sorry, before I never thought about it like this. Disney did it once, so.
Disney actually did it almost entirely through the entire series.
Well, no. When I say once, I mean they did it once, and then they took that same formula and just applied it to to Marvel Comics once they acquired Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
That's hilarious to think about.
So, here's the thing, right? So I've watched every season up until Dino Fury. I haven't watched any of Dino Fury yet. But
So which season was done dirty?
I would say Samurai and Megaforce.
Yeah, Megaforce to me, like, and here's what really made me upset with it. They brought back a lot of the old powers, a lot of the old new costumes based off the old costumes. And when you got to Super Megaforce, you got, like, some of the Zords from previous Megazords, which, yeah, I don't really agree with how they did it.
That entire season is a mistake.
Yes. But, like, it seemed like it was supposed to be an anniversary, like, series.
No, it was. You're absolutely right about that.
Where, hey, we're going to harness the power of all the previous Rangers before us.
Which is the Sentai version.
Sentai version. But even worse than that, when you look at the previous... I'm sorry, not the previous season. The latest season of Sentai... Mm-hmm. Don Brothers.
Yes.
They literally take everything that they did in Megaforce, but do it better.
You know what's funny? And I'm glad you brought out Don Brothers. So the season 4 Don Brothers was Kikai. And that is the actual anniversary season. But Don Brothers is... Oh, hold on.
Just keep going with your thought.
Don Brothers is what I like to, like, kind of there we go, yeah. Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. I like to call Don Brothers the part 2 of the anniversary.
I gotta watch this season before I finish Don Brothers. Yes, because, like...
This is the actual anniversary season for... This is the 45th anniversary season for Super Sentai.
Because I've seen this... Like, it's crazy.
You
Wasn't this character in Megaforce? Like, when they did the Ranger battle, like the all-Ranger battle?
No. But there's a character that looks like him that it was in there, and his name is Akared. But you see our main character, you recognize that face. Yeah!
The Red Ranger? No, the shopkeeper.
Yes!
Wow!
That's why I said I love that he's in this season too.
Hey yo, I hope they connect the 2 seasons.
There's movies. There's movies that connect, connects. That's why I told you we need to watch it.
I will be watching this now. I will be watching the movies, and then I'll be going back and starting Don Brothers from episode 1.
Bro, I'm telling you, Super Sentai is so good.
All right, well,
but let me finish.
Answer this question.
But let me finish.
Why was Megaforce done dirty?
So, I'm gonna start with Samurai first.
I'm sorry, Samurai.
Samurai was done dirty because of all the things that I said, where they did not take the time to actually craft the series to adapt it into an Americanized series. Oh, don't switch. And it's very, very obvious. Like, Jaden is the leader of the samurai, right?
Yep.
But he's given all the reference as if he's like he is the top dog of samurai.
Yes, and then his sister pulls up at the end,
and she's the actual leader,
which tripped me out because I was like, "Wait, whoa."
Now here's the thing: she is, but here's the problem. What's a leader? What's the definition of leader?
The person that leads the team. I'm sorry. The person that guides the team to their goal.
Now, does a leader have any reverence or control over their teammates' lives?
No.
Exactly. Now, in the Sentai, his counterpart is known as the Lord of Samurai, which would mean
Yes, they control every aspect. They swear loyalty to their
him.
leader. Yeah.
Now you start to see where the translation breaks down.
Yeah. Nah, I definitely understand.
And the reason why I say, like, Samurai to me isn't as bad because of this like, it's not even just about the translation, but like you could see that they were actually trying to do something with this.
Yeah.
But ultimately there was just a lot of writing issues, things that got introduced that didn't really make any sense. Like Mega Mode. Why does it exist? Who knows? Shokin Mode. Why does it exist? To just be something that the range.
Yeah, I remember this.
It's a cool looking form, but it only uses Mega Mode is a cool looking form that they only use in the Megazord. Shogun Mode was a cool looking form that they only used in the Megazord until Jaden used it in the end to fight against Xandra in the most stupid explanation in Power Rangers history.
I'm sorry. I hated Shogun Mode. I thought this was so useless because I was like, bruh, is that the battleizer for the season?
It's the battleizer, but they never actually use it. It's cool looking. Look at how cool it is.
I thought it looked extremely stupid. And it looked even worse because all 5 of them got it.
But like I liked that aspect because I was like, it's been a while since we had a team battleizer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It looks kind of cool, yes.
But the purpose was just to have it power up the Megazord for the most part. And not everyone got it. Like Antonio. And he was the one of the main ones that probably should have had it. But that aside,
I also thought it was really dumb the way they guided their Megazord. Like, their swords fold down.
Oh, the Mega Blades.
Act as
controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they do their final slash, they pick it up, pull it, like bop it, and then slash, and then it slashes.
It's so much extra steps, especially compared to the Sentai where they just use the swords. Oh man, but Megaforce gets it even worse because, while Samurai was translating the Sentai, Megaforce was completely ignoring the themes of the Sentai.
I hated that season.
So, for those who don't know, Tensu Sentai Go Sager is Power Rangers Megaforce's Sentai counterpart. And Tensu Sentai Go Sager is a season about guardian angels that have to protect the Earth. So, you know, it's a very, you know, very simple story, but it gets deep. Obviously, you can't really do guardian angels protecting the Earth over the seas over here because that will bring out, you know, some religious battles or whatever the case is, religious disputes and everything.
I really don't think that it would have been that bad because, like, well, again, I take everything back to Marvel. Look at Marvel with the whole Moon Knight series.
That's fair.
And DC with Black Adam.
Again, fair. But, like, I think that's the reason why they were afraid to bring the Guardian Angels.
They didn't take a risk. They should have taken a risk.
But here's the thing. If you didn't want to do Guardian Angels, here's the next best thing. They kind of had this night motif going on anyway.
Earth's mightiest heroes. Oh, wait, no, that's the Avengers.
I mean, they might as well be saying that because they say Earth's defenders never surrender. I hate
America? Yo, to be honest, that does sound like the Army slogan. Earth's defenders never surrender.
If anyone said that in front of me, I would slap them.
Oh.
Please, no. Never, ever say that. But yeah, they kind of had this little night motif going on, so why not? I don't know, let's dig into our fantasy brains and make them knights. Oh my god! Ah! And each one of them is a, like, okay, so Troy and Emma are wind, Jake and Gia are earth, and then Noah is water. So why not have different, like, if they wanted to do, you know, because in Maker Force they go to school.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do school, you could have night school.
Yeah.
Of the three different elements, you know, earth, wind, and, you know, water. And
then they'd be coming together to form Captain Planet.
Captain Robonite.
Heart. And I hated that Gosei was like the understudy of Zordon.
He's the worst mentor in the entire series.
Well, the whole Gosei is the successor to Zordon. That didn't really sit well with me.
It was a slap to the face in Zordon because he does not actually really help us.
No.
All he does is give the Rangers new powers.
Yeah.
And remember what I was saying about Noah? So episode 3 is the Sea Brothers. Episode 4 is the Land Brothers. So that's 2 episodes, and we have 6 Megazords, 6 Zords already. And then episode 5 is the Sky Brothers. That's 9 Zords within 3 episodes. And you know what episode 6 is? An episode where they don't use...
The cluster.
I wish. But an episode where they don't use any of those Zords that they just received. Because structure! Yay!
Wait. I have to ask this, because I remember it, but I don't remember what season it was.
Mm-hmm.
Which season had the elephant that was controlled by the guitar?
Ninja Storm.
Okay, it was Ninja Storm. Alright, that's what I thought. Because I'm like, it shot off the balls. I remember that.
And I love how it's a guitar in our version, but it was actually a Simisen in the Sentai. It's so funny. Localization, everybody.
Yep. Alright. So, out of all the seasons we talked about, Ranger versus Ranger, who would win? Who do you think will win if they had to spot up? Because...
So, the most basic answer that I'll give you...
Give me one for Power Rangers. One Ranger that you think will win for Power Rangers. And also, you can give me one Ranger from Sentai.
Oh. Okay, so if it's Ranger on Ranger, right? I'm going to give you the most basic answer, but it's the one that makes the most sense. It's anyone from Super Mega Force, and I'm going to tell you why. They have access to all powers.
That's a good point.
Including powers from Super Sentai.
Yo, they definitely do.
So, unfortunately, it doesn't really matter how good Tommy is and goated Jason is. It doesn't matter about any of these guys. I know all of you are probably like going, oh no! No, friends. You have to understand. Gosei gave them these powers. And, didn't explain where he got them from. And definitely, give directions on where the give any explanations on where the extra Super Sentai powers came from either. Like, who is Ranger Blitz? We've never had a Ranger Blitz, but can we get Lightspeed in an episode? Nope.
Well, technically, you got Lightspeed in an episode.
You mean in the last episode for like 5 seconds? Yes. The best cameo for Lightspeed.
And the crazy part is, like, we're sitting here looking at the
picture that they used.
Yeah.
This is the promotional picture.
Yeah.
And
like some Rangers to pick out. They have the entire RPM cast in here, which technically they probably shouldn't be there because aren't they a different universe?
They actually shouldn't be here because, yes, for the reasons you just said, is they're in a different universe. Not to
They're
mention,
connected to the Morphin Grid, but come on, bro, that's...
let me tell you why Megaforce makes no sense. Most of the powers that the Megaforce Rangers use, they should not be able to. The Mighty Morphin powers were destroyed.
The Zeo Crystals, weren't they also destroyed? No, they're too powerful.
They're too powerful.
Which means that the Zeo Rangers shouldn't be standing there.
The Turbo powers were destroyed. The only person with Turbo powers is Justin.
The Lost Galaxy powers
Are on Miranoi, which is in another galaxy.
I was about to say, which is in a Lost Galaxy.
Yes. In space, their powers were on oh god, what's the ship's name? The Astro Mega ship.
Yes.
The
Time Force powers are in the future.
The only two Rangers that are in the past with those powers are Wes and Eric.
And technically, Eric kept his, but didn't Wes give his back?
I don't remember.
I feel like Wes gave his Morpher up, but I think Eric kept his.
He might have. You might be right about that. The Wild Force powers. Princess Shayla took not only the powers, but the cool jackets that she gave the Rangers. Why did she take the fucking jackets?
The Ninja Storm powers
were thrown into the Abyss of Evil with fucking Lothor. That was... I'm sorry. Ninja Storm is great, but that was one of my pet peeves. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. That's the only way you destroy this motherfucker is throw your powers into an Abyss of Evil? I mean, yes, it set up a plot point where in the team up, it was the Ninja Storm Rangers versus Dino Thunder Rangers, which is one of the better team ups.
And they got temporary power.
Don't go there. Don't go there. Oh god, Power Rangers is so good, but sometimes there's some very, very complicated shit that just makes no sense.
Well, here's the even funnier part. Okay, so you have the Aquatar Rangers here. So,
they're on Aquatar.
Exactly. Wait, yeah, these are the Aquatar Rangers, right?
Yep.
And they're like halfway across the galaxy.
And then we go back into Disney. The Dino Thunder powers were used to defeat Mesogog.
Oh, there's the SPD Rangers, because there's the Green Ranger who is in the future.
Yeah.
The extreme future at that.
Mm-hmm. And then we have...
Wait, who do you think is further in the future, or are they different timelines? Time Force or SPD?
So Time Force is the year 3000, but SPD is the year 2025. But SPD's technology is way more advanced than Time Force, and they actually have aliens and other species on that Earth.
But doesn't you mean in SPD's Earth?
Yes.
Yeah. I was about to say, but technically, Sam, when he comes back in time, isn't he from the year 3000?
He's from a year further in... He's from a time further ahead in the future, so we don't know.
Okay.
Him and Nova are from some time in the future.
Yeah.
But then we get Mystic Force. Mystic Force, I remember this because this one's also bullshit. They used all of their good magic to defeat the Master's evil magic, and they weren't able to have magic anymore.
Which is bull, because magic just exists.
Wait, there are two things that are wrong with this. One, they had the mother of all magic, who was played by Rita's actress. Two, their rule was, as long as you believe in magic, you can then use magic. So as long as they believed that magic still existed...
Well, on top of that...
Then we have Overdrive.
Where's Overdrive at? I don't even see it.
Overdrive's in there, back there somewhere.
I see Samurai.
But Overdrive, their powers are with
The android son.
yes, the
real boy.
Yeah, the Harfords.
I want to be a real boy.
Pinocchio.
Yes.
And Geppetto. That one is kind of feasible because all you have to do is go find the Hartfords and maybe. But then you have Jungle Fury, which is a secret organization.
They definitely should have connected that to Ninja Storm. I still say that.
And then...
here's the character that I was thinking of.
Yep, Akared. He's the very first Sentai member. Or was he one of... I can't remember.
Dirt?
Those are Gosei Sentai Dai Ranger, which were the forms that the Megaforce Rangers use. Yes, a Sentai series. Oh, fun fact. You know the White Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? He's a part of that set as the 6th Ranger. Yes, he's a part of that team of Rangers. Look it up.
Alright. Alright, so we're gonna move on to our second to last topic. What did you think of Once a Ranger?
So which one are we talking about? We're talking about the one from Overdrive, or you want to talk about both? Because we can talk about both. I'm here to talk about both.
You know damn well which Once a Ranger I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Netflix special.
Okay. Can we talk about both?
No.
Please?
It's 12 o'clock. It's 12:11.
It's not a rant, though.
It's 12:11.
Why?
We'll revisit the topic in a future episode.
Alright. So, my thoughts on Once and Always is that it was a very good special.
I'm sorry, yes, Once and Always, not Once a Ranger.
Like I said earlier, they had a very beautiful tribute to JDF and Tree Tang in it, and it was very poignant. And they also had, Trini's daughter take up the mantle of Yellow Ranger.
Yes.
Min is badass.
Yes, love her.
We need her in more things.
Yes.
I would love to see her in more stuff because she is. I didn't know what to expect because I was told, you live on the internet, you learn about some of these people. I learned about her before seeing the special, but I had no idea what they were gonna do with her, and then to see what they did, I was like, bruh, that's freaking fantastic.
The one thing that I thought was cool was that, they actually showed that the Power Rangers never stopped fighting crime just because they got older. And just because other Rangers came to pick up...
Yeah.
To
come to fight new villains and stuff like that.
I thought that was a great full circle moment. And for Min, again, Hasbro, free game.
You gotta do more with her.
You take... You do your own series that's not based on Sentai.
Mm-hmm.
You take Min and 4 other Rangers from different series, and you make them one team, sort of like how Marvel did Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Where they took heroes from different universes and made them one team.
It'd be nice.
And you take it literally could be like Megaforce but better.
Yeah.
You take Zords from previous seasons and make them figure out a way to make them combine in one episode or 2 episodes to defeat the giant monster. And as new characters come in, you have old Zords coming in to combine with new Zords, and then you can bring back the Zord builders if you really wanted to. That would have been a better way to have Zord builders.
Let's not bring back Zord builders, please. We do not need that fiasco again. I kindly request not Zord builder.
But I guess I'll say I really appreciate it Once and Always. I thought it was a great nod to the heritage of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and just Power Rangers as a franchise. I love that Zach was the father figure.
there's a lot of like there's so many references to other series. Like they talked about Miranoi, and they talked about they mentioned oh god, I can't remember all of them, but Miranoi was one of them that I caught, and I was like, bro, really, we brought Miranoi into this? Oh shit. We're serious.
What about all the Rangers that were caught or that were captured?
Okay, so if there's one part of this that I don't really like,
you didn't like that.
Well, it's not that I didn't like that. It's just like some of the Rangers that they caught, I was like, really?
Like Alba Ranger?
Yeah, like Trent. How the fuck were you catching that motherfucker who was giving out hands? This man...
He turned good. When you turn good, you don't have that killer instinct anymore.
But he still was fast as shit and had, like, powers out the ass. And plus, he can turn invisible. How the fuck do you capture this man?
When you turn good, all those powers become null and void. Look at Tommy.
I just was like... I'm like, oh, come on, man. And then also, like, they had the Beast Morphers Rangers in there, and I was like, okay, really? Nah, I feel like that's bullshit. First of all...
They're too new.
They're like the newest team. And then, if it was anyone that had the most connection of to the power grid, it was them. So, how? They fought Venjax as, well, you know, Evox. But yes, Venjax. Venjax was a fucking hard-ass AI motherfucker. And you mean to tell me that Rita's reformed monsters captured 3 of them? Get the fuck out of here.
Well, Rita was technically Alpha 5.
Oh, God. I liked that storyline, but I will say that it was a little contrived.
It did feel a little rushed because I'm like, wow, y'all sacrificed Alpha 5 like he was just some robot. But when you think about it, all the robots have a soul because they have a shared conscious. Like,
and like the whole storyline of like Billy trying to bring back Zordon was a good thing, but I'm like, I think at some point Billy should have realized that Zordon was just gone. Like,
I think at some point Billy should have been revealed as Zordon,
or like the next Zordon.
The next Zordon, yeah. But
yeah, Once and Always was good.
Yeah. So, lastly, Power Rangers versus Super Sentai. Who you got? Who you picking? Who are you spending your time watching?
All right.
Gun to your head.
If it's gun to my head, it's Super Sentai.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but there's no way. Like, not every Power Ranger series is bad. There are a lot of fantastic seasons of Power Rangers.
Like Operation Overdrive.
No, not that.
We're bikers. We're bikers.
We're
That was like the premise of Operation Overdrive.
Bro,
we're Rangers.
If that was the premise of Operation Overdrive, it probably would have been made a little bit more good to watch. Jesus Christ.
Sentinel Night.
So, Super Sentai, man. When I started... hold on, let me back up. I gotta back up. I always watched Power Rangers. And it wasn't until maybe 2015, 2016-ish, somewhere in there, that I watched Super Sentai for the first time. And I want to prefix that, like, I thought Power Rangers was original.
So did I.
Yeah, I didn't know it came from across the pond.
Neither did I.
And finding that out, I was like, wait, whoa, hold on. Huh? And the first season of Super Sentai I watched was Zuden Sentai Koryuger, which to our American audience is Power Rangers Dino Charge. I love that series. Like, that is one of my favorite Super Sentai series to today.
To the day.
To this day.
To this day.
And I had no idea that it was going to be this good. Because the thing about Super Sentai is that it's more like, it's a kid's show, yes, but they actually deal with more real topics like death and suffering and injustice and, you know, discrimination, things like that. So I was like, man, this is what Power Rangers would be if they weren't. Well, it's not that they're afraid, but if they were to address these, you know, topics.
You know darn well that. And again, I know I creep dangerously close to it, but like, you see the state of our society today when it comes to just matters of people loving who they love. They're not going to touch this. That.
But here's the thing, like, Power Rangers has been more proactive with now because now
It's the wave.
Well, not only that, but like they've gotten the Green Ranger in Dino Fury.
Oh yeah, so many people. I was shocked. So many people were outraged that she didn't have a skirt anymore, and that she was
Can I roll my eyes real hard about that?
Yeah, I'm like, bro, I think it's great.
Back in the day, there was a ranger called Katie in Time Force, and she was a very girl. She was very much a woman, but she didn't wear a skirt. And then people were like, oh, but that was a product of his time. Yes. It might have been a product of his time, but you have to also realize that Ranger was a male character in the Sentai.
Much like the
character in Dino Fury, which is also a male character.
Yeah. Well, remember how trippy it was when Ninja Storm came out and the Yellow Ranger was a dude instead of a woman?
Yeah, the first team where the male was actually Yellow Ranger.
Yeah.
And, I remember back in the day about conversations about that because, like, so many people are like, well, I'm glad he's yellow, not pink. It's like,
so what? What if he was?
But yeah, if it's Super Sentai versus Power Rangers, I'm going Super Sentai because more often than not, Super Sentai series are more consistent.
Yep.
The stories are a lot better.
Yep.
They're easier to follow.
Yep.
And the biggest thing that I say that Super Sentai does is theming. Like, you see Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Power Rangers Dino Thunder, Dino Charge, and Dino Fury, and you're like, oh, they're all dinosaurs, right?
Yeah. Kind of tired of dinosaurs at this point, but yeah.
However, in Super Sentai, it's not like that. With Mighty Morphin, which is Zuden... No, it's the wrong one. It escapes me. Either way.
Anyway.
The Rangers, they're warriors. They're dinosaur warriors. That's their whole... Well, yeah. They're, Koryu Sentai Zuranger. Yes. They're dinosaur warriors. So...
There's more of a distinction.
Yeah. And Dino Thunder, which is Bakudu Sentai Aba Ranger. What? Huh?
Keep going.
Oh, yeah. Bakudu Sentai Aba Ranger.
I was just saying you could hear the taps.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Bakudu Sentai Aba Ranger. Their whole thing is that, they're regular people with like different jobs and stuff, but the dinosaurs talk in that series, so it's a different dynamic. And then Code User,
I still had to finish that.
it's
uh
it's so good. Code User.
oh wait, no, I'm thinking Q Ranger.
Q Ranger's also very good.
Q Ranger's so good. And there's so many Rangers in the series.
Which is,
The 12 Zodiacs.
Yup. It's probably one of my favorite storylines from Sentai. Especially with the suit designs.
But finish your thought, sorry.
Yes. With Code User, they're all about like festivals and dancing. There's like a underlying theme that tells the story, so it's not really like it's about the dinosaurs, but it's not really about the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And then for Dino Fury's Sentai counterpart, which is Rio Soldier. There we go. I got it. They're dinosaur knights. So like that's where I say like the theming is different. And then not to mention when we were talking about Tensu Sentai Ghost Teacher.
Yeah.
Guardian Angels. Where would you ever be able to just see Guardian Angels outside of like Marvel or DC?
Right.
So that's why, to me, Sentai will beat Power Rangers because most of the seasons, like, take one of your favorite seasons, Mystic Force. Maho Sentai Magi Ranger is better than Mystic Force.
Yeah, I remember when you had me start watching it, and I did really start enjoying it.
And you want to know why it's better? Well, you know why it's better. Tell the people why Maho Sentai is better than Mystic Force.
Because they're family.
No? Oh, well, that is a good reason, but that's not the main reason.
Because they use actual magic?
There it is. There it is. And people are like, oh, but it's supposed to be mystical. It's a Disney-based season, and Disney's whole thing is magic.
Yep.
So a magic-based Power Ranger series should have been the easiest one to make.
Should have been a home run.
Yeah. It's not like Mystic Force is bad, but when I went to go back and rewatch Mystic Force, right? When I was watching Ninja Storm all the way through.
Yeah.
I didn't like Mystic Force as much as I did when I was younger because I was like, man, this is kind of lame. Like, not lame, but like, I didn't really like, I liked Nick, but I didn't like him as much anymore. And it's because I saw what was in plain sight, which was, Nick was just trying to get to his aunt. He didn't care about saving the world or nothing.
Right.
Like, he's a nice guy and everything, but he didn't really want to do it, like, the magic for real. He didn't even actually believe in the magic for real. Yeah.
But like you're saying.
I feel like, in a lot of cases, overdrives, Sentai just completely washes them out because you watch the Sentai and you're like, oh.
So this is what it was supposed to be about.
Bokenger is about adventurers. Simple. How much more do I need to give you?
I'll have to say, for me personally, someone that's new to Sentai, I searched for it for a long time because I saw the very first thing I saw was the fight from the Super Sentai counterpart to RPM, the Megazord battle.
Oh.
Yes, with the Red Ranger's vehicle, but it was black and gold.
Oh, that's from the movie special.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really.
And I was like,
good.
bro, this wasn't in the series.
Yep.
And then I saw Megazord fights from the Sentai counterpart to Jungle Fury.
Ah, Juken. That
Yes.
one's also really
With
good.
I can't remember what the evil lion dude's name was.
Oh, Jared.
Yes, Jared. But his Sentai counterpart,
Rio.
Megazord.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, bro, none of this was in the series. I don't remember any of this.
Because that's also a movie special.
Exactly, I know. And I'm like, when I found out that, on top of that, when I found all the Megazords that I didn't know about, I was like, huh?
Yeah?
Like, I don't remember the Kongazord being red.
Yep. Because that one's also a movie special.
Yeah. I was like, bro, what's going on?
Oh, man.
So, to me, when you introduced me to Super Sentai, like, you were my plug for series to watch because I didn't know what any of them were named. And I started watching, although bits and pieces here and there. I have to say, of the halves of seasons that I watch, I prefer Sentai over Power Rangers. Because the stories are more detailed. They follow the same format as anime, which I am a huge anime nerd. Well, I'm not going to say huge. I'm a big anime nerd. I'm still watching animes here and there. But I love the writing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the biggest person when it comes to like the special effects because that kind of like turns me off.
Yeah.
But I love the story, I love the characters, and I love the character progression. That to me is solid writing.
You know what else kind of like breaks the difference between Super Sentai and Power Rangers? So you remember how we were talking about, you know, how you said, you know, you liked how Power Rangers go from the next to the next to the next. Sentai actually did that for a long time. Yeah. And it's only a couple series where they're like, oh, this is in a different universe, but it makes sense why it's in a different universe.
Yeah. Because it's something so drastically different to the normal, you know, outline. It's them trying something different.
Exactly. Whereas Power Rangers, it was more or less like, and it's not Disney's fault. Let me prefix this. It's not Disney's fault. Disney didn't really have a plan at first when it came to Power Rangers because it's like it was just going to die. But they were able to put it on what's that channel?
Well, are you talking about Jetix?
Yes.
Because it was Jetix at first, and then it went to Disney XD.
So it was Jetix at first. They put it on Jetix, and that's where Power Rangers thrived for a long time. Yeah. Then they put it on Disney XD, and that's kind of where it was kind of put in limbo in a little bit because not as many eyes were on Disney XD at the time.
And then it jumped to Nickelodeon.
Which kind of like...
I'm sorry, no, it didn't jump to Nickelodeon. It jumped to Nicktoons TV.
Yeah,
because that's where they had the MMPR reboot.
Yeah, and that was the time that Saban bought back the rights. And
then it jumped to Nickelodeon, which is where you had Megaforce. I'm sorry, Samurai and
Megaforce. And here's the...
And now it's on Netflix.
Yeah. And here's why, like, Power Rangers is becoming better now. But Power Rangers was kind of in a rough spot for a lot of reasons. One, because if we were adapting each season as it goes along, we are still 5 Sentais behind.
Yep.
Hasbro has made it clear now that they want to start trying to make their own original series of Power Rangers, which is cool.
Which they probably should have been doing from the start, like a little while ago.
Well, I'll give them the reason why they have it, because it's kind of hard to, you know...
It's expensive.
Yeah, and it's expensive, but it's also kind of hard to pull the entire fan base into a completely new season of Power Rangers without prefixing that it has been adapted.
Well, you know what you do? You introduce these Rangers at a certain point. You introduce...
you mean like how Super Sentai does it?
Yeah. You introduce characters from a counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw a one-liner in there saying, "Oh, our universe, blah blah blah. I'm from universe, blah blah blah." Like, look at Dragon Ball Z Super. Literally, they went the multiverse route as well. They introduced the God of Destruction, and after introducing the God of Destruction, literally went, "Oh, you think your universe is the only universe?" And then they were like, "Huh?" Right then and there, it like made it where fans were thinking like, "Bruh, there's more than one universe."
And seeing that, I'm glad you said that, because in Super Sentai, right, they have this tradition where the next season of like either one or all team of next season of Sentai members show up in the season that's going on. So like in Don Don Brothers, there'll be a reference to the next seasons of Sentai.
Yeah.
And what's so cool about that is...
Well, it was the shopkeeper. That's one of the references.
Then he's from the previous season.
Yeah.
But in his season, Don Momotaru showed up in his season.
Oh, wow. The Red Ranger showed up in his...
And the Zord that he uses in the beginning.
That's cool.
And stuff like that has been happening for like the longest time. One of my favorites was in the Dino Hope movie, which is the three dinosaur teams, along with Go Busters, which is Beast Morphers. They were in that special, the Tokugers, which are the Train Rangers, show up to face off against Goldar, or one of the older enemies, and it's just like they just pop up. They're with the train and shit. They do their train moves and shit, and it's like, oh, okay. And like for me, this was like an early, like I was watching that special like early before I watched a lot of Sentai. So for me, I was like, oh, so this is how we do crossovers over here in Sentai? Oh shit!
Sentai gave Marvel and DC their... Well, I'm not gonna say that, because technically Marvel and DC gave Sentai, like the comic companies, gave like Sentai the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
They took it and adapted it to TV.
Yep.
And now we're just now learning how to do that on the big screen. So, I guess to end this podcast, like, we know Sentai goated. Power Rangers still getting there.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'll say this. Final thought. If we have to give our listeners a couple series to start off watching, what would you say?
For Power Rangers, I'd say Lost Galaxy, Dino Thunder, or Ninja Storm, depending on how you feel.
I think both are good.
Yeah. If we're talking about Neo Saban, I just watch Beast Morphers. Just do it. Don't torture yourself with Samurai or Mega Force. It's not worth it. And for Super Sentai, I would recommend
Q Ranger for one.
Yes, Q Ranger is very
Magi
good.
Ranger, because Magi Ranger is the one that you got me with.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna throw them out.
What? One more. Give me 5.
Q Ranger, Magi Ranger, Koyuger. Yes, absolutely. Watch Koyuger. Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger, which is cops versus Phantom Thieves. And if you're into Persona...
I was about to say, it's funny that you said the name is Lupin Ranger, because, it's probably reference to Lupin the Third.
It is.
Who is a master thief.
It is. And then for the last one is... And, past me probably would have hated myself for saying this, but I'm gonna say it. Don Don Brothers. Because Don Don Brothers is just such a different series.
Good.
But I cannot I'm sorry, I know we have to end, but I want to talk about Don Don Brothers a little
You
bit.
have 2 minutes.
Okay. I was not expecting Don Don Brothers to be as good as it is.
Neither was I.
But it is, and like, you haven't even seen the entire thing, but it is.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay.
Because we have an episode in the future where we're going to discuss Sentai versus Power Rangers.
Again?
And I know, no. It's not the same thing. This episode was us discussing Power Rangers versus Sentai from the perspective of we like Power Rangers. The next episode is going to be us delving more so into Sentai as solely Sentai.
Okay.
Less Power Rangers, more Super Sentai.
Alright, so I'll just end what I'm going to say about Don Don Brothers and save the rest for later. But the reason why Don Don Brothers is so good is because it takes a lot of the conventions that you know about Sentai and Power Rangers and just flips a lot of them on the head. Like, usual tropes, throw them out the window. Regular staples, throw them out the window.
Yep.
Don Don Brothers does not give a shit. And I love that personally. I love that Don Don Brothers does not give a shit. And I also want to say that I watched Don Don Brothers alongside of Kamen Rider Revice, and I was having the best time watching both of these series. If you haven't checked out Super Sentai, please do. It's good. I would drop the site name, but I don't want it to be taken down.
You can find it online.
But you can find it online.
You go, if you're good. I know not all my, but all my nerds out there. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
You can find anything.
If you look hard
enough. If you look hard enough.
But yeah, I'm gonna stop there because I'm gonna keep gushing about Don Don Brothers. So let's wrap up and go over the topics for today. So we started out with just talking about Power Rangers. Then we led into recommendations for seasons. And then we talked about who was our favorite Ranger.
Your favorite season.
And then our favorite season. Then we talked about why aren't there any games, which, there should be a game. Come on, give us a game, Hasbro. You know you want to do it.
Come on, and make sure you get a good company to make it, because if you don't, you're not going to have anybody to blame but yourself.
We talked about why Megaforce sucks a little bit.
That was obviously the season that was done the most dirty.
We talked about... I guess we didn't really get into who would win between Rangers.
Well, no, you said Super Megaforce.
Oh, yes. Right, because they have access to all the powers.
Yeah, I didn't give my answer, but my answer was going to be Trent. But then you kind of blew that up with saying Megaforce has access to all the powers.
They have all the powers, man. There's nothing you could do.
They're God mode Superman in that. Mm-hmm. So,
and like, I know I'm editorializing a little bit, but people will say like there's a time limit on Super Mega Force, Super Mega Mode. There isn't. So, anyway, then we talked about our thoughts on Once and Always, and then finally we said that Sentai would beat out Power Rangers any day of the week.
Yes,
because
in a versus, Sentai wins.
that's sorry. And like, if people are saying, "Oh, what about the theme songs?" Sentai has some of the most awesome theme songs. Like,
I was about to say they got some of the most goated theme songs, because it's not just their theme songs; it's their openings in general. Like, it's goated. It's no questions asked. Japan just does it better.
Listen,
end of story.
Don Don Brothers theme song is like
goated.
I'm sorry that I was like I have that song still in my head today.
Yep.
Like, no,
Goated.
I love my Power Rangers themes, as we talked about. We talked about Power Rangers themes. Put my hands up, bro.
Goated. But we love you.
We hope that you really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, this is definitely one of our more passionate episodes.
Listen, there are more episodes that aren't Power Rangers based that we will have like this, where we're gushing over shit. I hope that you stick around for those. Because, man, we got some good stuff coming for you.
Yep, down the pipeline. But drop a comment, drop a like, drop some topics in the comments section or in the Discord. We'll be creating a Discord channel for people to drop comments. So join the House of Shadows Discord. Remember to follow us on the socials.
Check out the Paper Lions store and get you some merch.
Yep. Follow our other channels, Jamie Shadow 9.
Subscribe to the Nerd Guys podcast channel.
Yep. And yeah, follow me on Underground 335.
You can catch your boy on Jamie Shadow 9 on Twitter, on YouTube.
Well, not so much Twitter. You're on Twitter, but you're not really on Twitter.
And here on Twitch. And of course, if you want to follow the Instagram, it's the House of Shadows Instagram.
Yep. All the links for everything is in the bio.
Alright. We love you. May the power protect you.